Hello everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming, and on behalf of a fragment from the net slum, I just want to say how's it going, and do hope you're finding your fragment experience pleasant thus far. We're looking at a screen that's going to be very familiar to you if you start playing the game. It's character creation. I'm going to go ahead. This will be the fourth character I create for Fragment, and this one has a very particular purpose. Certainly not breaking any new ground here. There are dozens of varying quality, most in the good to pretty darn good range, videos on YouTube for character creation, but I want to do my little spin on it, give you my 2 cents, and that way we have one here, so when you're stopping in to check your fragment content from the newest content providers and everything, you've got it here as a little refresher. So without further ado, let's go ahead, select one of the 3 slots that's available on a memory card, be it a physical memory card, whether you're playing on a PS2, or this being a digital representation of a memory card on my computer as I'm playing on emulation. Here we've got our class selection screen. You just keep pressing right to cycle between them. Starting with the Twin Blade, that's sort of your all-around rogue class. Kite was one, Sora was one. If you're really into the really quick flourishing attacks, Twin Blade is for you. If you really loved IMOQ and are just looking for an extension of that, then keep playing as a Twin Blade, as this is pretty much a direct content port with some minor tweaks here and there. All of that equipment is going to be more or less available if you know where to look. So Twin Blades definitely have quite a selection of quality weaponry at their disposal. Up next is the Blade Master. It's my personal main character. It's still one of my favorite classes. I'm a little surprised though. Personal confession, I'm a bit of an Arthurian legend geek. I absolutely love Arthurian legend. It's what I grew up on. It's still what I read when I have some downtime. And it's a little personal goal of mine, if Excalibur, the weapon, is available in a game, to try and collect it. Lo and behold, despite the Blade Master looking like your archetypical knight in shining armor, Excalibur is not a Blade Master weapon. Still love playing the Blade Master, and if you enjoy a class that can reasonably handle itself on its own, if you're thinking that you're going to be spending some time soloing online, Blade Master, definitely worth a look. Heavy Blade is the class we'll be making today. Blade Masters, of course, Balmung is the most famous of them, Balmung and Orca. Heavy Blades, think Mimiru, Black Rose, Sanjuro. Just really giant swords, great offense. That's what we'll be creating today. They're one of the 3 heavy classes with Blade Master and Heavy Axe that literally have access to all of the armor in the game. So you kind of get to pick between the stats and the skills as to how you want to play the most with those on your armor selections. Speaking of Heavy Axes, the unofficial best class in the game, as mentioned by a few members in the NetSlum Discord, and I'm not going to argue, they certainly have made a more than compelling case with their list of achievements at the class. You could see a little silhouette of Pyros in the background, as he would probably be dothack's most famous heavy axe. And I sort of jokingly throw little in there because when my wife first saw Pyros, she thought it was a kid in a mech. The armor is that much larger. Moving on to Long Arm, that I feel is really sort of an underappreciated class. I mean, they kinda, literally and figuratively, kinda get the shaft on weapons. Not just because they're running around with spears and pole arms and it's on a long pole, a shaft. Also, I think their highest level weapon is like level 86. Kinda crazy when you think about it. But it's a class that thematically feels a bit like Twin Blade, thanks to the medium armor restriction. You can't equip the super heavy stuff, but you have a good balance of offense and defense. Very fun class to play. I play it quite a bit myself. Last but not least, Wave Master. Long Arm, of course, you've got Gardenia as the silhouette there. Gardenia is a famous one, Krim as well, famous long arms in the dothack series. Wave Masters need no introduction, but we're going to give them anyway. I'm fairly certain that's a Tsukasa silhouette there, but just for the heck of it, if you're a fan of Blue Casa, by all means, that's an elk silhouette as well. They're your mage class. They're the only ranged damage in R1. Have a wide variety of abilities. You've also got characters like BT. Strong to say that if you've got a favorite character, the odds are it's a Wave Master in the dothack series. Or it's Mimiru. If you came up with Sign. Mimiru, very likable character. But like I said, we're going to go in today, grab us a heavy blade. Let's go ahead and take a look at the character models, A through F, so we could assume these are going to be 3 male modeled characters and 3 female modeled characters. First one, Deadringer for Sanjuro on the default. Right now we're defaulting to Fire, which is the red color. We'll get into that a little later. But we've got Sanjuro for type A, eye patch, sort of wavy hair, giant sword. Got another giant sword-wielding samurai. Several of the NPCs you run into in offline root towns kind of have this model. And the sword's going to stay the same throughout. It's just your base, low-level, heavy blade weapon that they're going to equip you with. Third character looks a little like the second. Shorter hair, armor's slightly different. Getting into the female models, first one very obviously your Mimiru Black Rose. Sorry, keep tripping over my own tongue on that. And really, Model E doesn't look that thematically different. You get some longer bangs, but a almost identical body shape, slightly different armor plating. Bit of a texture difference on the boots, but yeah, minor thematics there. And F is this long-haired, sort of samurai-looking girl with a headband. I don't know, kind of deciding here, where do we want to go? Well, before we choose a character, let's jump down to color. As I said, we're starting out with red, and red symbolizing fire here. One of the things they don't tell you unless you look up a how to start, creating a character on Fragment video like this, or perhaps you've run into the fan-created guide PDF. These colors actually do play a bit into your character creation. The color you pick is representative of one of the elements, and that's going to be your quote-unquote favorite element. You'll have a slight boost to that stat at the start. So starting off here, we have fire, then water, and you can see that there are slight differences in the cosmetics of my character model as we go. Then thunder element, wood element. Really like the pattern on the pants there. Really awesome, sort of like tree roots. Earth element, really old guy. And probably mustache of the year candidate on that guy for the darkness element. go up, take a look here at these different ones. Wow. Why are all the darkness element dudes ancient? Kind of fun to look through these, actually. Yeah, for the life of me, at a glance, I would not notice that character models D and E are that vastly different. It's kind of neat that the Heavy Blade model, D female model, and Water Element has a very similar hair and color scheme to Natsume, as a twin blade would go. I think at this point I'm just kind of looking for the most outrageously old looking character. I think it's this guy. I think it's the Earth Element guy. Another thing that actually plays quite a bit into your character creation that you don't realize, the height and width chart. You'll actually get bonus hit points and skill points based on little things like if you choose a male character, I think you get more hit points, and you get more skill points if you choose a female character. You get more hit points if you choose a taller character, as opposed to a shorter character. Oh, little tiny old guy. That's great. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna make this little tiny old guy. That sounds like a plan. And if you make him skinny, really skinny guy, still less hit points, but we'll have to make do. Average size. Then you can make him a little hefty. We'll make him a little hefty. Gotta carry that sword somehow. He'll have a low center of gravity, just leverage all of his attacks. So there we go. Now we come to this screen, and you know, you're staring at 99 points here, and this is something I've heard people on the Discord, well, seen more so than heard, but they've talked this point to death. These 99 points here, while it feels really good to have some control over your character, and this is probably one of the most frequently asked questions of anybody starting out playing this game, this is one area that really doesn't affect your character that much. The prevailing thought is to put it in either your physical attack or magical attack. And when I say it, I mean all of it. I think it comes out to roughly +3, give or take, overall in your stats. So these are just sort of sub-points. You need about 30 points, I think, to affect a +1 in your final stat. Another school of thought is to put it into accuracy. Physical accuracy. Obviously not that important if you're playing a Wave Master, but if you're playing any of the other classes, especially like a Heavy Axe or a Heavy Blade, accuracy is so difficult to come across at lower levels. You need all the help you can get. I do believe that's where we're going to go with this today. An impressive physical attack stat is really nice at higher levels, but really how impressive is it if the damn weapon can't hit? So there you go, 99 physical accuracy, so that'll give us a +3 overall, give or take. Now we get to choose some, we get to choose a name. Huh. What to come up with for a name? Well, he's just some old dude looking for Excalibur. Guess it helps to... Oh yeah, another quirk of the emulator. If you don't have your game window as the active window, it's not going to let you type. We'll go with GAWGZ! G-A-W-G-Z in all capitals, as edgy and professional as we can be. Not the best name I've ever come up with, but it's damn close to the worst. Sounds about right. So there we are, my little spin on the character creation. We could see him slowly spinning around like a showroom model sports car in a Gran Turismo game. At this point we are in the "Are you sure this is your character?" And you can see him there with his "old man, I once rode cavalry in the war" face, just sort of blankly staring out, remembering things that happened on a rainy night none of us can recall, while holding a sword that weighs 50 pounds more than him. Well, maybe 20 pounds more. Again, he's been hitting the old Krispy Kremes. They ask if this character's alright, and if we weren't alright with it, we could go back, choose a different class, tweak things further, redistribute points, hopefully give him a better name than this. Unfortunately, I'm not that creative, and this is the best we could possibly do. So, now that we've girded our loins, grabbed our giant sword, and made sure to don our brown pants, that will do it for our little look at character creation. I do plan on running this character through the offline story little by little, and once I get up to sufficient level, looking for Excalibur. That is going to be the end goal weapon for this character. Once I hit Excalibur, not really looking for anything else. Perhaps a backup weapon just in case, but if I remember right, it's a neutral attribute weapon, so there really shouldn't be anything that it's bad with. Hopefully this helps on some instructional level. Hopefully it answers a couple of your questions when it comes to character creation. And we'll see you around in dothack fragment.